Welcome back to Hope Frontier. This is Phil, and I'm happy you're with me today. We're going to continue on with our Names of God series. And once again, this is really important because as we go through our life, we have to understand who God is. And throughout the Bible, they use different names to describe God because God is so big and so vast that we can't understand him just by calling him God, right? Because what does God really even mean? So today we're going to take a look at the word Olam. And this is a word that's used just a few times in the Old Testament. And what this word means, it means basically eternal God. It has a meaning that something is lasting forever, that it's permanent, that it'll always be there, it'll never go away, and it is ancient of ancients. So one way we can look at this is by understanding that God has been from the very beginning and he'll be there to the very end, and that he's always constantly working and constantly in our lives. So no matter what we're going through, no matter what's happening around us in our life, we can take heart that God has seen this, is going to do something, and is going to continue to exist even beyond our time. So it's quite encouraging. Let's take a look at one verse to start off with to get a picture of what this can look like. And this is in Isaiah chapter 40. This is verse 26, and I'll read it here. Have you never heard? Have you never understood? The Lord is Olam, the creator of all the earth. He never grows weak or weary. No one can measure the depths of his understanding. He gives power to the weak and strength to the powerless. Even youths will become weak and tired, and young men will fall in exhaustion. But those who trust in the Lord will find new strength. They will soar high on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not go faint. So this is a great verse here that we see in Isaiah, because what Isaiah realizes is that no matter how strong you are, no matter how powerful, no matter how smart you are, eventually you're going to reach your maximum capacity. And when we have God in our life, we're able to do so much more than we think we could do. We're able to endure longer, go at a higher pace more consistently, because the everlasting one is stable and filling us. As we continue to go through life and face challenges, it is difficult to move forward with same intensity and consistency as we had when we were younger. So as we go through our life, we do need to see that the everlasting one is always there for us. He's always going to be strengthening us. He's never going to abandon us. And even when you think that God may have abandoned you, he has not. He is there, patient, waiting for you, or waiting for the right timing before he can do a miracle in your life. So you got to take heart when you're facing those hardships, because God is there. He is unchanging. Next, let's take a look at Genesis chapter 21, where the Philistine king Abimelech came over and wanted to make a treaty with Abraham because he didn't want there to be any problems, any fightings between the two nations. And so this is what we see in verse 33. Abraham planted a tamarisk tree at Beersheba, and there he worshipped the Lord Olam. And Abraham lived as a foreigner in Philistine country for a very long time. And so what we see here is that Abraham knew that before the existence of boundaries, God was. God was in charge of the whole planet. And so by creating this covenant relationship with Abimelech, where they agreed upon a nonviolence act together, where they would live in peace together, it was really God's steadfast hand that allowed him to have peace and strength and success in his life. And this is important because as we're going through our lives and as we're doing work, as we're living with our families and our relationships in our lives, we have to realize too that God is there in all that we do. And we can give him the praise and glory and worship for when we see blessings in our lives, because God was, and is and will continue to be in our life. And the final verse we have today, this is Psalm chapter 90. And let's take a look in verse 1 and 2, how the psalmist is describing the Lord our God. Here's what it says. Lord, through all the generations, you have been our home. Before the mountains were born, before you gave birth to the earth and the world, Olam, you are God. So here the author of the psalm knows that all existence is God's masterpiece. Why should he have fear in his heart when the creator of the universe is by his side? When we, at the end of days, will see God, our Father, and be with him for all eternity in heaven. So just as God created everything from nothing, he has no reason to fear the unknown. Because no matter what we're lacking in our life, God can make things happen if he so chooses. So that really gives us that encouragement, because we can really stand strong and realize that as we're going through our difficulties in life, as we're going through the uncertainties of our future, God is, and he will always be, and he is strong and ready to pour into your life.